I'm Mrs. Oslin.
And I'm Mrs. Wally, and we are here at a very special place today.
Yes, we are here with executive chef of Velvet's Big Easy food truck, Brenda Miller.
Yes, I'm Brenda Miller, chef and owner of Velvet's Big Easy, serving the Northwest Big Easy style.
So today we have the honor to be here with Brenda, and she's going to share with us what it's like to be the executive chef of a food truck, how she starts prepping her food, what it's like inside the food truck. You get to go inside and look at it. And then we have some questions from students that she's going to answer so you can learn what it's like to have a small business here in Washington.
How exciting.
All right, we're here at the Masonic Temple where I rent a shared space in the kitchen here. And in this kitchen, I do all the prep of my food. I have storage space. Here I have the freezer where I have a shelf that is labeled Velvet's Big Easy where all my frozen products. I use this area here to prep all my chicken, my fish, shrimp, whatever items. This little gym right here holds a big gigantic pot that I can cook a big pot of gumbo. Yeah, one of my all-time favorites. You can only prepare meat in this sink. You can't put vegetables like tomatoes or lettuce or carrots or anything. Only meat in this sink can be prepped, washed in this sink. And this area is where we prep all the vegetables. And we must sanitize and clean after every use in all of these areas, including the prep table.
Why do you do that?
We do that to make sure that bacteria is not growing on the surface, on your hands, or on any other items that you may be using, like pans or pots, or somebody come behind you and not aware that maybe I was using chicken and prepping chicken and they're not aware, and if I don't clean those surfaces, it could cause their food to become contaminated with bacteria. In this area where we wash and clean all our dishes, pots, pans, there's a 3-compartment sink, and the reason for the 3-compartment sink is you wash, you rinse, you sanitize. I can use this automatic dishwasher, which will do the same thing as this 3-compartment sink. It automatically wash, it automatically rinse, and it automatically sanitize.
What's the difference between washing and sanitizing?
The difference between washing and sanitizing is that you normally use some kind of soap detergent to wash. Sanitizing is another solution that kills bacteria and germs. The wash only cleans the surface, and it rinses the soap detergent off of the surface in order for the sanitation to take place to clean any bacteria that may be left on the surface. This is a walk-in refrigerator, and this is where I store all my produce and defrost my frozen products in this area here. This area is also labeled and sectioned off. It has my business name, and this is my shelf here where I keep all my products on the shelf. The difference between this walk-in refrigerator and your regular refrigerator is constantly circulating air to a proper temperature that maintains the temperature in this area at all times. So it's run by a circulating fan that's in the back that maintains that temperature.
Okay, Brenda, you showed us where you prepped everything, your fridge, your freezer, how you clean everything in the prep kitchen in your shared space.
Yes.
Then what happens?
Then we move it to the truck.
Should we go see what it looks like in there?
Yes, we should.
All right,
Hey,
let's go.
come on, friends, let's go look.
All right, this is where all the magic happens, right here in the food truck. I have refrigeration, actually several areas of refrigeration. This is one refrigerated area. This is another refrigerated area, and it's called the chef base. And this is a refrigerated area here also, where you can keep your lettuce and your tomatoes and pickles and mayonnaise and all those types of items in this refrigerator. I also have a stove, a 4-burner stove with a full tray oven that you can put things inside the oven. We have a grill top here and a charbroil grill, 2 fryers. They said, well, why do you need 2 fryers? Well, I need 2 fryers because I use one of them for seafood only. The other one, which is a separate bay, I use fries and chicken. So I separate the 2 oils so there's no mixture of contaminating for those that are allergic to seafood. So I keep that separate from the chicken and the fries. Also, if we have a big event, I have the ability to keep things warm. This is a 2-bay warmer, and it fits a full-size tray, pan. As you can see, I have one here. This is the water basin, where you put the water in, hot water, and you turn it on, and it keeps it hot. And you always put hot food in a warmer. It's not a cooker, it only keeps it warm. It has to be hot to begin with. So we put that here. And this container here is to hold my baked goods, or fried goods I should say, because I do a fried pie. And the fried pies are placed in here. Once they're prepared, I have my own special bags that the pies go into. Lots of covered storage space up above and below. And these cabinets may look a little familiar if you've ever been on an airplane. These are the same type of cabinets they have on airplane, and they open and lock very much like the ones on airplane.
Why is that important?
That's important because it locks in place and it keeps everything inside. So because the truck has a lot of vibration to it, we want to make sure that nothing is falling out. So, and the construction of these cabinets is very sturdy.
Because this kitchen moves.
Yes, it's on wheels. On this side is my order window. And we take orders here, the register is here. And we once we've taken a customer's order, we give them this little gizmo. And it's a buzzer. So when their order is ready, it buzzes. We just
Wow.
send them a little buzz. The order's ready.
That's just like a regular restaurant would have.
Yes, yes. So therefore, it makes our processes a lot easier, so we don't have to write names or numbers or try and yell out the window. And especially if you're at a concert, nobody's going to hear you. So this worked really well, and we adopted this process from the restaurants. We're kind of sharing ideas here. And here is my freezer, and I keep all my frozen products inside of this freezer. French fries. You remember those pies I was telling you about?
Oh.
Here they are. And so we usually cook these to order. So they're nice, hot, and fresh pies that we use. And you remember on the inside of the prep kitchen, we had a 3-compartment sink Well, guess what? We have that same type of sink here on the truck. And we use the same way. Wash, rinse, sanitize. And all my food products are kept in the refrigeration. Napkins, forks, spoons, ketchup, and all those things are in the cabinet. Also, any chemicals. You gotta have things to clean and sanitize, right? You gotta have it away from your food. And so that is stored in the below cabinets where I keep my chemicals for cleaning. All types of chemicals. This is my sanitizer. So I keep that separate from wherever my food is. So there's no possibility of contaminating food. And always have an ample supply of clean, fresh towels. You always want to have clean towels to do your cleaning and sanitizing, wiping things down. You know, you want to have, anytime you use something that's not labeled, you want to label it. You want to make sure it's labeled.
Oh, I see that.
Yes.
That's great.
You want to make sure it's labeled so everybody knows exactly what it is. Okay? So, and things that keep this truck clean. We have garbage bags. Another important thing you should always have available.
First aid
A
kit.
first aid kit.
Yeah.
You always want to have that because things happen. You want to be prepared. Somebody get a nick, a burn, or something, because we are dealing with hot products and hot food, hot equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you want to have ample cleaning materials
Scrubbers.
Yes.
Yes.
to keep things clean, right?
Nice.
All right. And gloves. You want to make sure you have all types of gloves, rubber gloves, gloves for washing the dishes, wiping things down. Anytime you're using chemicals, you want to make sure you have gloves. Also, speaking of gloves, when you're preparing your food, you want to make sure you use gloves. We have gloves at various stations. We have gloves here, various sizes, and we have gloves up front, various sizes.
Wow, Brenda, thank you so much for showing us where you prep your food and how you get it onto the food truck and what happens inside the truck, because I've never been inside a food truck
Me
before.
neither.
I'm always on the outside. So we have some questions. Some students had some questions
Absolutely.
about what you do. So I see that it says New Orleans Cajun and Creole cuisine. Can you tell us more about what style of food and why you chose that for your food truck?
Yes, originally I'm from New Orleans, number one, first and foremost. And I love New Orleans. I miss the food. So, and it was very difficult to find that kind of food here. So, well, at least the food that I remember growing up, you know, that flavor, that style of cooking, and all those things, right? So I decided, along with my family, that it would be a good idea to share that with everybody else. And what I found in my research, that a lot of people don't know the difference between Creole and Cajun food.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the difference is that Creole food is tomato based. And because tomatoes were very plentiful in that area of Louisiana, and the Cajuниtes, right? So the Creoles, they would use tomatoes. Cajun is all about the spice.
Mm-hmm.
They love spice. Not necessarily hot, even though they did, put cayenne pepper and that kind of things in that. So they really love spice, and that's the difference. Tomato based, spice.
Okay.
Creole, Cajun.
I've never known the difference.
I did not know either.
Thank
so
you
now
for
I
clearing
learned.
that up. So you talked about how you make your dishes with chicken and shrimp and fish. Where do these recipes come from?
Well, I tell you, they're my grandmother's recipes. They're my mother's recipes.
So they've been passed down from generations.
Yes, they're my sister's recipes. They're my aunts, my cousins. So we all collaborated together and decided which recipes to use. And we picked the favorites from each one. So my mother, she loved catfish. Okay, she would eat. I mean, in New Orleans, we would eat fish on Fridays. Some kind of seafood would be on Fridays, but we always had catfish. Okay, so my favorite is gumbo because I get the best of all worlds. I have my chicken, I have my shrimp, I had my sausages. You know, so I got all those things in one pot. And that was one of my favorites. My sister, she loved a po' boy sandwich. I mean, you know, if you said we was going to go get a po' boy sandwich, she would beat you to the door. Okay? So.
And is it her recipe for the sandwich?
Yes. Yes. And she loved chicken. So, and it's a grilled chicken. And it has the flavor profile of the Cajun because it has these spices. Now, when I talk about the spices and flavor profile, I make my own season blend because I want to replicate that taste and familiarity that I had when I was a kid. And then you can't go to the grocery store and say, okay, I think I want this all-purpose seasoning here and get the same results. You won't get it. So I found that if I mix some of those things together and duplicate what I remembered was far better than what I could buy in the store.
So it's kind of like your secret recipe.
Yeah.
I love it.
The secret's in the spice. Yes. So I was able to put together all these recipes and come up with just one menu. And a lot of times I will rotate out different items based on season.
Right, because it depends on what's available, right? That affects your cost of your business. If it's something that's not in season, it's a lot more expensive for you to produce that.
Absolutely. And comfort food, people like to have more comfort type foods and when it's cold out. You know, so gumbo is one of the things that's on the menu. Even though in Louisiana and New Orleans, you can get gumbo any day of the week because it's hardly ever cold there, right? So, but other places, especially here, gumbo is more accepted in the wintertime because it gives you that warm, cozy feeling inside when you eat it. And not only that, I found that the Northwest and Louisiana had something in common. They both have seafood aplenty. And the people there love seafood. The people here love seafood.
Because both cities are on a coast.
Yes. Absolutely. So with that being said, that meant seafood was, the price point for seafood was very affordable. You know, for people to enjoy and eat. So I do have quite a bit of seafood on my menu.
Because they don't have to ship it. Because
That's
we're
exactly
right on the
right.
coast.
Right on the
It makes
coast.
that
That's
cost.
exactly
And that
right.
helps with the cost for your business.
That helps with the cost of my business. Absolutely. I can have Dungeness crab on my menu. Even though people think, well, hell, that's expensive. Yeah. But to buy it in New Orleans, it would be even more expensive.
Right.
But so I wouldn't buy Dungeness crab in New Orleans, I would buy blue crab. But
So where you are determines, your geography determines what you can offer your customers at an affordable price.
at an affordable price.
So
Absolutely.
have you always wanted to have a food truck?
Well, actually, no.
Hey, tell us more.
I wanted to have what in the business they call brick and mortar, which is a restaurant, right? I've always wanted to have a restaurant, And my husband and I, we talked about that idea quite extensively. But unfortunately for me, I lost my husband last year. And then the pandemic happened. And so I had to do some research and like, okay, brick and mortar is out. It's totally out. Nobody can even leave their house, let alone go to a restaurant, right? So I talked with some friends, and I knew people that had food trucks. And they were telling me, says, okay, if you really want to get out there and see what people like, get a food truck. Food truck is the way to go. Well, okay, I start doing some more research. If I did a food truck, what kind of food would I serve? Because I cook more than just Cajun cuisines, right? I know how to prepare other things. Well, I can make a burger. I can, make tacos. I can do all these things, right? But I thought, it's like, well, where can I get New Orleans style food around here? I couldn't find any. Even the restaurants that I went to didn't remind me of eating in my grandma's kitchen. It didn't remind me of eating at my aunt's house. It didn't remind me of my family. So I wanted to create the childhood experience and share it with the people here. So that's why I end up with a food truck and the type of food that I'm serving.
What an amazing gift to our community.
Yes.
I have never
Thank you.
eaten at your food truck, but I'm going to find where you are next, and I'm
Yes.
going to enjoy some of your food.
Well, finding where I am next is easy. I have a website.
Okay.
It's velvetsbigeasy.com.
Okay.
And on the website, just in the middle of the page, you'll see a calendar. You click on the date, and it'll tell you where and the address of where I am located.
Perfect.
Yes.
We'll definitely do that.
We will. Yes.
Now, I have a question. It's a burning question
Okay.
that I need to know.
Okay.
I think I know the answer. How often do you eat your own food?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Because cooking is so pleasurable to me.
Right.
Cooking for others is even more pleasurable because I can get some feedback, but I already know the experience you're going to have because I eat it all the time. So, and I'm so happy to have shared that eating experience with everybody I know and the new friends that I'm meeting now and in the future.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
So, what's the hardest part about having a food truck?
Wow, good question. The hardest part is the number of hours that it takes to prepare something, the prep work. It's always that upfront thing you have to do before you can get to do the thing you want to do,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So the prep is always the hardest part. The elements of the unknown can be a little bit challenging. And what I mean by that is when you go to a specific event, you have no clue if you're going to make one sale.
Yeah.
Right.
You have no idea of how much food to prepare. So it's kind of a hit and miss.
So you have to be a good estimator.
Yes, you
Yeah.
kind of got to have a good idea of, okay, am I going to make this much food? Because you have several items, right? It's not
Right.
like one item.
Mhm.
You have several items, and you got to be able to feel good about running out of food. It's okay to run out
That
of
means
food.
people really loved it.
Yes, it's okay to run out of food. Another hard part in this environment is not being able to truly see the faces of people.
Yes.
That's very difficult, very challenging. Being able to find reliable help is a big challenge in this environment, because for whatever reason, it's very difficult. So that's challenging for me to be in business. And with that being said, I find myself doing 100% of the work, where normally I would be delegating a lot of the work to my staff if our hair is down.
Yeah.
And
But,
hopefully that will change soon.
oh,
With the
absolutely.
pandemic,
Absolutely.
we won't have to wear our masks and
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm given opportunities. What I really like is to share knowledge with students. So I hire a lot of high school students,
did you hear that?
college students, in order, not only is a good work environment, I try to create a really good work environment to have people that want to come and work for me. But once school starts, then I have no team, right?
Right.
Unless it's just a weekend. But even at that, you can't work them every weekend. They got to have some time for themselves. So those types of things are very, very challenging. But I'm looking forward to the future because I'd like to be able to expand my business and offer some other items, and have my own facility and a fleet of food trucks.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Pacific Northwest needs your food trucks. We need some flavor and spice up here in
Yes.
the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
And I am really excited to try your food next time you're out.
Well,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us into your kitchen and into your truck and teaching us all about Velvet's Big Easy. We
Okay.
really appreciate everything you do for our community.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And anytime, let the kids know if they would like me to come to the classroom and,
Ooh,
And-
yes.
even have them try my food. That would be great.
I'll
Okay.
come volunteer that day.
Yeah, me too. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Brenda,
Thank
for doing this
you.
today. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Friends, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.